Hi, I'm Tyler Bodlak here with Ambassador Sports International, and I have Sam Hazewinkel with me today. He's a wrestler. He wrestled in London, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions to get to know him a little bit better. So first off, could you just tell me a little bit about yourself and your background in wrestling?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I look a little scraggly. I'm in the training phase right now. So my kind of story, I was real fortunate, real blessed. I was born into a wrestling family. My dad was an Olympian, and his twin brother was also Olympian. They made the team 68 and 72 Olympics, and I was real blessed to be able to make the Olympic team this last Olympics in London, making us the first father-son in USA wrestling history to go to the Olympics. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's a nice little dynasty. Is that the right word, dynasty?
I think so.
It's a good dynasty to have. Yeah, that makes it sound real good. So anyway, I was born into that, and just kind of, Dad did a great job of. I never felt like I had a shadow over me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to go be an Olympian, and at the same time, when I wrestled, other kids, I was like, well, their dad's probably not an Olympian, so I should win it, And so he did a good job of making it where it like reinforced me rather than put this shadow on me. And also, I was born into a Christian family. I'm actually a third generation Christian, which the older I get, the more I realize like how rare that is. I used to think that everybody was second, third, fourth, eighth, but nowadays everybody's first or second generation. Not everybody, but it's crazy to me. I don't meet a lot of third generation, so I feel like the Lord put me in an amazing situation where I just all the cards went my way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
As always going my way. So it just a lot of things were set up where if I did what I was supposed to do and stuck to the game plan and had the right mindset, I had everything there for me to accomplish my dreams.
Okay. Cool. Well, it's really cool to see that you made it to the Olympics and followed in your dad's footsteps a little bit. Just how have you been able to stay motivated being at the top of your sport, I guess?
A big part of that is I really love wrestling. It's easy for me to be motivated because I enjoy it, and that's not to say it's always been easy. A couple of years ago, it all of a sudden it got really hard. I won everything as a kid, and then won everything in high school, and then got to college, and freshman year came out and took third in NCAAs, and it was like, all right, I'm on track, I'm going to keep winning everything, and never ended up winning NCAAs in college. Third, second, kind of became this hump I couldn't get over, and tried out for the Olympic team in '04, took third, lost to two Olympians, so the two guys that are ahead of me, so I was like, I'm on track, and '08 comes around and I take second, and the World Team Trials the next year I take second again. The World Team Trials again, I got another second, and so it got that point where I was kind of starting to lose a little bit of that motivation and kind of realized, my focus was changing. I was getting too worried, like I needed to win. I had to win instead of enjoying it and remembering why I'm in the sport. I'm there because God gave me these abilities, and I'm wrestling for Him, and I should be enjoying it. It was becoming too much of a job, too monotone. I had, this is what I have to do every day to be a champ. I need to go up, I need to run and lift, and there's no joy in it. And so I think kind of getting that back, I really worked the last year and a half, 2 years on mindset and just kind of making sure I had the right attitude, the right mindset, and brought back a whole lot of that joy. And I think that was a big part of why I made the Olympic team.
All right. So you mentioned that you're part of a third-generation Christian family, and so growing up and even now, how has your faith kind of impacted your athletic career?
For me, they go hand in hand. And it's another one. My dad, being my coach and my my wrestling coach and my Christian coach, what have you, and so he always did this, and it's kind of worn off of me. It's how I look at life. I'm always comparing the two.
Okay.
If if I have a move that someone keeps beating me on a single leg, in wrestling, I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna act like it's not there. I'm gonna go see a coach and I'm gonna work on it. And so, in my Christian life, I have this sin that keeps coming up, and this demon that's beating me, it's natural, it's human that we want to hide it. You know, we don't want anybody to know. And so I try to think, well, in wrestling, what would I do? You know, and so I go talk to my coach, my pastor, you know, or my dad, and you work on it. You work on the problems you're having, and you keep moving forward. And I do the same thing with wrestling. You know, if I'm running into something in wrestling, I try to think, you know, what would Jesus do? What does the Bible say on the subject spiritually? And I can tell you this: if you get an idea that aligns with the Bible, it's going to help you in whatever you're doing, business, life, wrestling. It's not going to send you down the wrong path, you know. And so, for me, it's helped so much in so many ways. Like the mindset thing this last year. Mindset was a big thing. Having the right mindset, keep my mind in the game, and spiritually, that's keeping your mind on God. You know, God should be first, and when I'm lining everything mentally, I have that right mindset, everything else fits in. You know, you don't have 12 things going on, and you're not worried about this and that. When you have that mindset, it's a lot easier to get through problems and to get through adversity, and so that's what I really come back to right now more than, you know, if you did this interview 2 years ago, it would have been different. But I'm big on having the right mindset. Really sets the pace.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that it's important to keep Christ first in your life, and so at times, especially just coming off the Olympics and with a hectic season and everything like that, is it sometimes hard to balance your Christian life with your athletic life?
Yeah, real hard. And it's one of the big things going to London. So I make the Olympic team, and Coach Jones pulls us in. He's like, guys, we made the team. Now's not the time to stop training. I remember I was like, we're not the kind of guys that stop training. You know, we didn't win state and be like, we're done. You know, we went to college, we're done. You know, I thought it was kind of a funny comment. And like right when I thought that, God kind of slapped me in the back of the head. He's like, hey, you're telling people how this is your chance to shine for me. You know, you're going to London, but it's not about shining for 5 minutes. It's about you shine brighter every day. And so that's a big part of like what I face between my wrestling and my spiritual is it's really easy for me. You have to put so much time into wrestling and making that Olympic team. It becomes like an idol. You know, I put so much into it that I forget hey, I'm supposed to be shining bright. Why am I here? Why am I doing all this? Is it really just to make an Olympic team, or is it to shine for Christ? And so that's a battle I face a lot is really trying to make sure that God is first and not wrestling. It's really easy for those two, at least for me, to switch, where it's wrestling's kind of first, and that's my way to help God, you know, not vice versa. So that's probably the biggest challenge that I face spiritually when it comes to between wrestling and my spiritual life.
Okay, just a few more questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just was curious, looking at the Bible, if you were to pick one hero of the faith from the Bible that you kind of most identify with, who would you say that is?
Jesus.
There you go.
Well, I hope to identify with Jesus. He's, obviously the hero that should be your hero.
Yeah.
But I find myself I identify a lot with King David and with Paul. I think of the two that they're both. Paul does all kinds of kind of athletic similes in his letters to the different churches, and his mindset is kind of the way he talks about stuff and uses sports to kind of get you thinking. I just relate easy with that. And then King David, I just think it's a guy that had the right idea that made mistakes, and there's no doubt I make lots of mistakes. So there's a lot of stuff if you're truthful with yourself, there's a lot of stuff you face, and he was the friend of God. Despite all that, he's the friend of God, and that's what I would love that. When I'm dead and gone, that people say, hey, he was a friend of God, and he had a bunch of mighty men, and he made an Olympic team, all that other stuff second, like those are the cool stories. He took out a giant once with a snowball. It was crazy. But, so those two are like the two, I like reading about them a lot, and kind of I get a lot of my ideas. Try to, I'm going in circles now.
Yeah.
I'll let you move on.
All right. Well, thanks, Sam. Thanks
And
for
nope,
your time.
I'm gonna shake here.
Yeah, I hope this arm heals up soon.
Yeah, I went and broke it today in matches. That was a bad idea. I don't know why I did that, but we'll see. The Lord has a plan, so we'll find out what it is.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, Sam.
No problem.
And
I enjoyed it.
thank you.